So welcome to Riley's Reading, and we're ready to go. We have a last 16 singles match for you. I'm Tony Sullivan. Two players are ready. D.Davy against F.Chard. As you can see, it's best of 7. Last 16 singles match. And it should be a good match. Frank's won the toss. And he's ready to break. Unfortunately, in off there, but early days. After this, we've got Simon Tuff against Steve Hood, and the winner of that will play the winner of this in the quarter-final. Quite a few matches tonight in Riley's Reading. There's lower division singles and upper division singles as well, so quite busy tonight. But this is going to be a fascinating game. For those of you who know Dan, one of the best players in Reading. And Frankie's pretty toasty when he gets his mind to it as well, so we're looking forward to a good match here. Dan's just working out what he's going to be here. You'd think he'd be yellows, but we'll see. Shouldn't think he'd be reds because you've got a hard red on the top right cushion and a dodgy red on the other cushion, but he's going to just move these out now. So he's definitely going to be yellows now. And we just got a result through already from another table. Mark Priest is through, and he beat Mick McConnell 4-2. They started a little bit early. As you can see, we're in the first frame. D.Davy yellows. We're playing black ball rules, of course, so the 2 shots don't carry, and he's actually followed it in. A rare mistake from Mr. Davy. And that'll be 2 shots red to Frank. Don't forget, in black ball rules, 2 shots don't carry. We got 1 shot and 1 visit. So a couple of mistakes early on from the 2 players. It's quite cold in here, and they've only just arrived, so probably need a bit of warming up. But you can't make too many mistakes against D.Davy. Just not quite far enough for the one in the corner So unless he plays it cushion first, probably just screw the one back in the middle. So just a nice little stun across here for the one in the corner. It's not too bad. Needs to get a fair bit of bottom into this. You want the white roughly where the middle pocket is for this black. So yeah, just where he's pointing the cue there, just screw the white nicely down the side rails back to about the middle pocket area. And you should be on the black. Ooh, now then, just about goes. And there we go, that's 1-0. Back for the second frame in a minute. Okay, second frame. Not a bad split that. These reds look pretty tasty here. Be surprised if he doesn't clear up here. He wanted to take the red to the far left corner, but because he's left himself bridging over, he won't be taking that now. He's playing the red in the middle, I presume. And that looks perfect. You just probably just punch this through. You just top this through, and then you'll have the one into the far top left. I'm surprised about that. Very surprised about that. And it's just about held it, so that's okay. And now just make sure you bring the white out to the middle of the table, roughly where the blue spot is. And that's just about perfect. It looks like a quick 2-0 for Mr. Davy. There we go. Frank will have to make a good break and get back into this now. So frame 3, Frankie de Break. He needs some. He needs to produce something here, and unfortunately he's come up dry, which is a bit unfortunate. It's a little bit 50-50 this one because fairly 50-50, this one, a bit complicated, this one. I presume he's going to take reds because of the yellow that's on this left-hand side by the white there. Doesn't really go anywhere at the moment. But then, of course, you could always move it, so it's a real 50-50. So decided on the yellows. Nicely into the top. Now the thing is, the yellow that's to the right of the black and above it won't go past the black. I'm sat right behind it. He might be able to get it in the jaws and cover the black, but I think he's got other ideas about moving the other one. So it goes to the top right now, and if you could play a very gentle little screw shot, so the white comes back about 2 or 3 inches to roughly where it is now, then you could have the yellow to the right corner. He's just looking at that now. So just a gentle little screw shot to the top right now. Try and bring the white back to roughly where it is now. And there we go, that's pretty good. And he's the right side of it as well, just to get hold of this. Come back through the gap, off the side cushion. It's definitely not straightforward now though, because you could put the one to the right corner, but you're not going to be having the right angle to get back for the far one. And if you play the far one now, it's a very thin cut, so there's a bit of life left in this frame yet for Frankie. The only shot I can see is if you deep screw this yellow to the bottom right and just get the little flick off the red that's next to the yellow, and hopefully the flick off the red will send the white down the right hand side of the table. Let's just have a look now. He looks as though he's topping it through, and he was never going to get back for the other one there. There was too much traffic. There was a black and 3 reds. I think the screw shot off the red was the shot, but here's a chance for Frankie, and he's really been frozen out of this match so far. He really needs to get back into it now. Presume he'll be rolling this one along the bottom cushion with some safety in mind. It's a nice pot though, and this drops in the right middle and left middle, so it's a choice of 2 here. And now it looks quite nice. The only slight problem is the red at the top, obviously, but can get on that in a minute. And he really needs this to get to 2-1. You can't afford to go 3-0 down, otherwise it's good night. Good night, Vienna. It's a bit unlucky there, just not quite gone far enough. Looks like Man United have just gone 2-1 up. Smalling with both goals, which is, you know, he's on a hat-trick, Smalling, and he usually gets 2 goals a season, never mind 2 in one night. So the key shot coming up. He's got to play this in the middle and just bounce the white off the side cushion so that the just be perfect on the other one, and he's forgotten to pot it. You can't forget the pot there, Frank. I mean, he did get the position, actually. It does go past the... If you don't get the pot, then you're in the deep stuff, and Dan's just going to go up and down the table here with a touch of left-hand side. Didn't really even need much side. It's such a slow table, though. Shouldn't have too many problems with this one. Should be 3-0. And there we go. We'll be back for the 4th frame in a minute. So Dan breaks off, just needing one more to qualify. And he's actually come up dry, so Frankie really needs to make a big effort now. He's obviously going to want to be yellows here. And I presume the free ball plant into the corner is the shot. Red, yellow, yellow. It's not too bad. I'd be tempted to play the far one. And just rattled it, but it's covered the red at the top, but quite tight pockets at that pace. Down the rails at that pace in Riley's, in Reading, you know, he's hit that a tiny bit too hard. And Dan's just going to stun this across. Hasn't played that well at all, though. One of his poorest shots of the night. That should have, he had a big margin for error there. Should have been on that one. And now just going to get it out. Not too bad, but a real chance for Frank now. Top one first, because it's doing no good up there. Come back down the right-hand side of the table. Don't go in off, though. Ooh. Just about got away with it. I think he'd be tempted into the plant now. And he'd probably be covering the bag. Or he's made an absolute mash of it. Can't really make mistakes like that at this level. Because Dan's just going to cover the pocket and gobble you up all day long. Frankie's just trying to complicate the issue a bit, try and slow Dan down a bit. Welcome to everyone on Ustream. Thank you for watching. Ustream/Berkshire Pool TV. It'll be on YouTube in a couple of days as well, but thanks for joining us live. We're in Riley's Reading. This is the Reading Wednesday League singles, last 16 match. This match will be followed by Simon Tuff against Steve Hood, 2 more Reading players. And then the winner of that match plays the winner of this match. So Frank, 3-0 down and a few headaches. Remember, it's only first to 4. So it's in a real dilemma here. It's not a bad shot. He's put one of the reds on the left-hand side, so that's giving him a few headaches. It's a nice shot there by Dan, taking the left-hand pocket. He's now got both these corner pockets, and Frank, to be fair, is in a world of pain. And the best hope for Frank in this frame is he's only 6 flukes away from winning it. And now Dan, would imagine, will probably go for game. You could play the waiting game, you've got 2 bags covered, but why bother? The plant goes past the black. You can just roll it through. But he's decided he's definitely, at 3-0, he's definitely going to go for game here. And if that goes in the middle, he's been slightly fortunate, and he holds his hand up to Frank, and Frank can't believe it. I can see Frank's face off camera, and he can't believe that Dan's on this. And it looks like 3 drop-ins now. So just run this through about 2 or 3 inches and have the other red in the other middle. Could have played that better, needed to go for another inch, but it shouldn't be a problem. And there we go, straight black for 4-0. And there we go, Frank didn't get a look in. Frank didn't get a look in at all. And we'll be back with the next match, which is Simon Tuff against Steve Hood very shortly.